Hey everybody, it's Laurie with Red Hot Real Estate. Hey, I am here at my listing on Treasure Island, and we're having home inspections today, which is very exciting. We're under contract. But it occurred to me as I was out here, a lot of the stories that I hear when people are buying waterfront property, some of the things that happen that maybe their agent did or didn't know to help them manage through the process on which waterfront property to buy. One of the things I always ask my clients is, why are you buying on the water? Is it for a view? Or is it for boating? Or is it because you think you should because you're living in Florida and you're coming from out of state? If it's about a view, then it might be water that maybe, we can find you a better view in a condo and spend less money on the house and maximize your views. And if you're thinking maybe it's about boating, my first question is always, well, do you have a boat already? Or what size boat are you going to buy? Because depending on the size of the boat, that makes a difference on the depth of the water that you need to have and whether or not you have fixed bridges or not. I once talked to a person who was buying their second waterfront house. They called me and said, we need help and we need somebody who's a waterfront specialist, and we bought a house and we didn't realize that there was a fixed bridge. Everybody else's boat looks really big, but they're on the other side of the road, which this was actually Venetian Isles, so you know what that means. They were on one of the 1900 M streets, which means they had a fixed bridge that they couldn't get their boat in and out of. So I ended up helping them sell that house and buy another one just on the other side of Grand Canal on Venetian Isles because they needed their boating option. The other thing I ask people is, especially if they're coming from out of state, is what do you want your waterfront lifestyle to look like? Are you a big fisher person? Do you like to water ski? Or is it really just like you like to take the family out and kind of tool around and do sunset cruises and maybe, hit a couple of the nightlife kind of places or, party places? So that makes a really big difference on where you're going to buy, because if you want beachfront and you buy in Northeast St. Pete, you've got a really, really long waterfront ride to get to the beach. So we really try and help people understand what they want their lifestyle to look like. Speaking of like living at the beach or in any kind of waterfront community, they all have their certain feel. If you go up and down the Pinellas beaches, every single beach has a different feel and a different lifestyle to it. So I always ask people, what are you going to be doing in your spare time? How close do you need to be an airport? So how close do I need to get you to a thoroughfare? Because sometimes getting off the beach can be a little bit tricky, different times of season with traffic. That's another cool thing to have people know is, what are the ins and the outs of that little location? So like let's say if it's on the beach, when is season? When is the traffic worse? Where is the closest schools if you have kids? So where do we need to help you find a place where you can get the kids back and forth from school really quick? If you're in Northeast St. Pete, it's okay when we have a lot of rain and the water starts to come up, what's my best route to work and what does that look like for us? So there's a lot of little ins and outs from people who, when you're buying waterfront property, what kind of boat you want. You need to know what the depths and the breadths are on the bridges. You need to know what your lifestyle is going to look like, your daily life. We live in Florida, and the weather is beautiful most of the year anyway, so you can't go wrong. But it's best to have a real estate agent that really can help you zero in on what that lifestyle looks like for you to help you accomplish that with the water that you're buying. So I think that's all I got. I took notes. You might even, another thing is I've helped people sometimes with boats and they fall in love with the house, but the docking situation isn't great. So I've helped them find their dry docking options. So there's all those kind of things. Boat lifts. Does your boat fit on the lift? Is the lift enough for the boat that you're considering? What are the rules on dredging? What are the rules on, those kind of things? Seawall inspections, making sure you have a really good seawall inspection. So again, a lot to consider when you're buying a waterfront home. So I'm happy to help you with that at any point in time. Call me, Laurie with Red Hot Real Estate. And if you're already working with someone, just make sure you kind of go over some of these points of view with them and things that might be of concern or things that made sense to you with this Red Hot Real Estate report. All right, everybody, have a great day. It's Laurie with Red Hot Real Estate signing off. Everybody take great care.